if you are working for any big organization, okay, and that project will run for at least a few months, maybe 6 months, 1 year, like that. In this process, you will be creating a lot of files. Okay, you'll be working on a project and you will be working on files. So files means today you create a file, but maybe tomorrow, maybe 1 week, you need to do some changes to that file. Is it right or wrong? If the project means at a stage you do this and client will not accept it back, we need to go on changes, same file. Okay. But while doing some changes, there is the one major problem also which we face it. The problem here it is, so today you first time you created one file. Okay. You created one file today. Okay. You written some code. And after 1 week or maybe after another day, your project manager or your friend says that do some changes to this file. Okay. And he says that you do one thing, keep that file original, whatever file you created, one copy, you make a duplicate copy. So don't overwrite it on that because client may again revert it back to his file. He may ask this file again. So we'll keep that file and one more file is created and you do some changes. Okay, a little changes you do that. Is that right? Then afterwards, again, some more changes. So one more file. Right? So some more changes. This is happen in every project. So some more changes, some other code you may change it here. Like that, one fine day, so what happens? You will get files and files, duplicate files, files like that, many files. Now, while working in this project, this is a common scenario happen in every project. And at one stage, so you develop this one, and your project manager said that there's some other day here is something that was the best one, better than this file, some other file was worse. How can you revert it back? Is it right? Where that file is? Yes, it is showing only 6 files there, but duplicate it. You duplicate it at least, hundreds of files. So your storage will be filled with all that file. So we may not know because sometimes we want one file, duplicate file, original file is required. That he will keep copies and copies and copies. And at one stage, so many versions to develop it, you want to go back to this version, and where that version is. So tracking the files is very, very important. That's what I'm talking about. Tracking and maintaining the files is very, very important. So here you are going to waste your much time for just searching for that file. This is the major problem. If it is a normal file at home, there's no issue. Time is not an issue. But if it is a project, definitely the project management, time management is very, very important. Okay. So to avoid this type of problem, right? I hope you people are understanding it. When you are working on a project, you create some file, you do some updations and updations and updations and updations. At the same time, you will make copies, number of copies, because we may not know in future what file we may require. And in this process, certain times we want to revert it back with previous files. Okay. Then the question comes here, which file? Where that is there? What name we have given? Okay, and one more thing is a lot of files. To avoid this problem, all the columns, okay, we require version control system, VCS, version control system, and we are going to learn something called Git or Git. You may say Git or I may say Git, your choice. Git it is. This is going to control your file. How we are going to do and what are the commands are there in this, how we are going to manage, what is the technology behind all this, we are going to learn that today and tomorrow. And this will help you a lot in your ratio. So nowadays, in companies, they are seeing that they will ask you something, can you give me your GitHub account? Git account. No, you may say that I have done this project. Okay, fine. Post it into the GitHub and give me that link. Then you should know how to do all these things, right? Create a file in your system, right? That has to be there globally accessible. Okay? You can give access to the other people or transfer it. So that's a cloud. You may say I can give it through the Gmail. Gmail is okay, you can give it. But what happens when you really work for a project, they just want to like it in Gmail or Google Drive? It's not possible. Faxing the files is not possible. You have a lot of files. So that's what the gist here is said. Now see, here it is. Version control system. VCS are category of software tools that help a software team to manage changes. As I said, changes and changes and changes here, right? To manage some changes to the source code over a time. To the source code. Okay. So version control software, VCS, keeps track of every modification to the code in the special kind of the database. So as I said, you are doing some changes and switch back and keep track very easily in a special database. Is it right? So that's why we are going to learn some important Git here. So Git is a part of the version control system. So because you make it confused, I'm talking about Git, but we are showing that version control system. The car is a machine. When I say machine means it may be a car or a team or a bus. Similar way, version control system is the concept. So there we are learning something called Git or gist. Okay. So version control is a software that allows you to manage changes over a time. Okay, over a time, number of times. And version control also called a revision control. It is called a revision control. Why it is called a revision control? As I said, if you are working on this file, you want to revert it back to second file here, second page. So that's why we have to revision. You can go back to that stage. So that's called a revision control. So version control is very much useful for developers, designers, and writers. Many people will think that the version control system, that is a Git, think that is useful only for the developer. In many places, I've seen that it's only for the developers. It can be used for designers also. It can be used for writers also. For example, a story writer is there. He's writing a story. Will he not change the story? Definitely, yes. And change the story according to the client, according to the user, according to the friend. For example, today he written a story, then he will share it with his friend or client. He says that he also do some changes and he'll share it again. He will do some changes to that and he will share it again for you. Again, that copy you have to save it. Okay. Again, you will do some changes and again you give it to them. Then he also do some correction and he'll give one more copy, one more copy, one more copy, one more copy, one more copy. How many copies to give? Right? Even for the writers also it is required. Even developers also it is required. Even designers also is required. Designer, if he is designing a poster or greeting or anything, or social media design, clients will be asking for changes and changes and changes and changes. First file, second file, third file, fourth file, fifth file, sixth file, seventh file. Then after one time, no, go back to that sound file which you did here. Where you search it? How can you track it? So that's the issue. So version control manages and tracks file. And version control also helps to develop and ship products faster also. Ship products means assume that people are, project means many people are working at different places, at different areas, right? So then you have to coordinate. You do something, you have to show it to something, to some other body. They have to do some changes and we send it you. So we need to manage globally. So Git is a distributed version control system, DVS. Is a version control only, it's called a distributed. Git is a distributed version control system. Each user has a local copy. That means when you really work on a project, where you save your files in your local computer, that is called a local copy or a local repository. So of the complete history of the project, which is known as a repository. Here onwards, I'll say one term, I'll use it called repository. So when you store your file in local computer, that's called a local repository. And if you store this file globally, that files are called global repository. Okay. So users can work offline. Is internet is not required. But when you are really sharing with other guys, definitely internet is required. So Git is going to help manage use our project files, because version control is that one. We are going to keep track of all the files. Is it clear? So all the files we are going to keep track of our files. So it is best used for the team collaboration, because you do something, okay? How can you share your file to your client or your teammate? Then through the Git only, okay? And many people will have this confusion, sir, what is Git and what is GitHub? I'll come to that one first of all, because many people are not aware of the Git itself, right? So can easily synchronize repository, and Git is a version control software which tracks of your computer file, and Git helps us to work with the developer and everybody else. And it is to see what others are working on also, because you want to see what the team members are doing. That's because it is a project, is a team collaboration, as I said. Every file is required about of the another file or another folder. So Git helps to view your previous changes also. See, you want to know that what changes you have done in the previous week, so that you can go back whether you want to take that file or this file. For that purpose, we need to know that. And Git helps rolling back also. Say you developed so many versions, but you want to go back to one version, and you can roll back it is. So Git contains many commands, and some of them you should stop. So working directory like this picture is very, very important, and copy this picture and just remove this, because while explaining these commands, we have a lot of commands are there. Okay. So in this process, we are going to learn different types of commands. So there is a working directory will be there. One second, please. Okay. Sorry. So now, when you start a project, what will you do? Will you create a folder or not? That folder. So this is a folder. Directory means it's a folder. We are going to create a folder. You'll create some files. You write some programs. Okay. But if you write and if you store in a computer, other people cannot access. You cannot create a repository. So that's why Git has to be installed. After installing the Git, we have to use some certain command. One command is git add. Okay, that will go to the staging area. Then we have to, after this, we have to take it to the repository. That is by using some command called git commit. That's so it may be little confusion for the people those who don't have idea. So if you want to create a repository, certain commands we have to discuss, especially this git add and git commit, git status. These are the three commands which are very, very important. Okay. So one after the other, we'll discuss it now. The first thing is we have to create a one folder, or it is also called directory. When I say directory means it's a folder. So in that we will create a file. So what we are doing, we are going to create a one folder, and we are going to create a one small file here, so that we can work on this. Which files are, we don't know anything about React yet. Don't worry, you don't want every React JS file. One PHP file will create it. Text file. And we'll see how that repository and how that we are tracking the files. Is it clear? So what we required? We require a folder. We have to create it, and we have to create a one file. It is one folder and one file. That is the first step. And afterwards, we are working on this file using this Git. But Git is not there in my system. Yes, it is not there, but we are going to do that. First thing is we need to download. We need to download this. I'm going to give this document at the end. Still, we can note down some points as the best habit. But our step I'm giving it, we can note down, that will help you a lot. you can remember more on. First thing is, we'll go for this, it can download. How can you download from this site? We have something called gitscm.com downloads this. Okay, this is the one website, git-spm.com and downloads. In fact, let me copy this code from here. And go to this whole code. Open the browser and do this. I'm going to install this. In fact, in my system, it is already installed. It is already installed. And for you all, it is a new one. So we need to download it. If you are using a Mac version, there's a Mac is there. And if you are using Windows, Windows is there. If you are using Linux, Linux is there. Okay. So most of you might be having Windows. So download for Windows, you can do that. And the version also it is showing. The versions will be changing, doesn't matter. Okay. So you can click on this, it will download it. And after downloading it, just double click on that, it will be installed. Right? That's what it says that. So download this one. Okay. You'll get some file, ESC file or some file. Just double click on that, it will be installed. And don't do that while listening. Within it. Afterwards, you can do that. Note down that point. In fact, in my system, it is already installed. But how to check it, whether it is installed or not? So, hit the command prompt. So, I hope you are all aware of that, how to go to the command prompt. So, here search bar is there. If you can check this area, because some people might be not aware of this one. So, command prompt, cmd, you can type it. You will get a command prompt app, it is. It will take you to the command prompt like this. I'll zoom it. By default, my folder is like this. Okay. So now, the first step is I want to check it. It is installed already. You people have to install it. In my system, it is already installed. I am going to type here git or git version. Let me type git version. And the command prompt, you type here git -- version. If it is showing the version means, that means it is installed. And it is the latest version only, that is 2.5 it is. So it is installed, it is. Okay. So it is clearly installed in my system. So no need of installing. One second, please. Right. So my Git version is installed. So then what should we do? Now we are going for the next step. This notes is having a clear note. And hence if you want to go for, you can go for type the help. It will show you that what are the commands are available. So shall I show you this? Git and the command prompt. Everything we have to do that command prompt. So it is giving that commit, what is commit, what is merge, what is the what is fetch, what is push. So fetch from integration with another repository. Like if we have all the command, if so we have something called add file concept in that. So don't worry about it. So our next step is this is what we are doing. As I said, we are going to create a folder, right? We are going to create one folder. So inside the folder, what we have to do? We have to create one file R. Okay. So, and we have to install, we already installed Git. We have to initialize Git. See, installation is different. Once you installation, it will be there in your computer, but one particular folder, for one particular folder, project folder, we have to initialize that Git. Okay. So that's why we have to create a folder and we have to create a file inside that. So what is the step it is showing that? Create a folder anywhere. Anywhere you can create. And go to that folder. And if you want to go to that folder using command prompt, you can use eds. Eds stands for what? Change directory. Okay, or you can use Windows for that. And you can check that git status. This is the one command we are going to set. So when you type first time after going to that folder, okay, using the command prompt, okay, open that folder and it gives the error. It says that not Git repository. So first of all, we'll see how to go to that folder, how to create a folder. First of all, we'll see how to create a folder. First, you all know that because you are all not aware of the DOS commands, I'll create a folder using Windows itself. So what I do here it is, but this my path is very lengthy. I'll go to somewhere C drive. Right. Here I'll create it. Anywhere, any drive, I'll create a new folder. I'll say this is September and I'll write Git. To understand it very easily, I created one folder and that folder name is SEPP Git. Okay, as per this step. I want to open this folder in my command prompt. I want to open this folder in my command prompt. There are different methods. One thing is go to the drive, go to this folder. What is my drive name? It is G colon, you have to type it. So it is in G drive. And change the directory. So September Git it is. It's not fine. See, if you type it like this, the DOS commands are not that easy. Spelling mistake there. Change the directory September Git. Is it right? So now I'm in that folder. But you may face this problem because typing these commands is not, you are not aware of that one. So I'll show you easy method. That's why I told it. What is my intention is I created one folder. This folder I want to open in a command prompt. This command is very, very important for the React based also understand this. If I open a command prompt here, cmd, what is the folder I'm getting it? Some ASR folder, which is my system name and users and C drive. But my project is available under G drive. Under that we have this. I want to show that G colon September, but I'm not getting it. One thing is I can do that manually, like G colon, I can type it and change the directory, and September Git I can type it. This is I know that, but you people are not aware of this directory like this. That's why easy method and tell you this. If you want, you can note down that. So you created a folder here in Windows, and you know that Windows, you know that how to open that folder here. You opened it, isn't it right? Open that folder. And this is not only for the Git, this is for everything. I want to open this folder in my command prompt. That's my intention. So opening my particular folder in command prompt. So here address bar is there, click on this. So when I click it, it will be like this. When I click it here, CMD. That's it. When I type CMD, it is going to the command prompt, first step. It is not only going to the command prompt, it is opening my current folder. As I take, we created a folder. First step, I entered into that folder. Then what should I do? Tell me. I want to go to the command prompt, and as well as I want to open this folder in the command prompt. What should I do? Click on this. There is an address bar here. Click it here. Then type cmd. Then now I will be activating event. So I'm in this folder. I'm in this current folder. Okay. So what I said, go to that folder. I enter into that folder. So if you are not aware of this one, just do that. Okay, that method. Now what should I do? Type git status here. I'll type git status. It gives not a git repository or any of the parent directories. I'm doing is I created one folder. I entered into that folder into the command prompt. Right? Now git is not started. Only installing is done. Now this folder is my project folder. Why I created a folder? As in that I'm creating a project. So definitely you create a folder. Okay. And in this folder, what is saying that enter into that folder, we have to initialize. Otherwise, it will give the error. It is there. It has to understand this folder. So git initialization. So what are the commands we are learning? So git commands. The one is git status and the git, and okay, and what is this? Initialization. First thing is, okay, so let us do this. Git init Now, if we can say this, there is no files in this. There are no files. This folder is empty. Okay. Even hidden files are also not there. If you can see hidden files. Do you have any hidden files here? Hidden file? No hidden file. Sometimes it will hide some file. So now once I type this one, git init initiated empty git repository. That means it is created in this folder G drive September git. It is created one folder file it is. But where is that file? It is not showing. It is hidden. So under view, you can see it is initialized. Can you see? It was not showing earlier. This is a hidden file. But doesn't matter that file. Okay. Just I am showing that it indicates that your git is initialized. Right? So check the status with now. After this one, earlier we did that git status. It was giving that a message. Now check that git status. Because we initialize now, git status. Again, I'm doing status will use it more number of times. See, earlier when I typed it git status here, can I check it? It was saying that. But after initialization, if I type it again git status, it is showing that you are in a branch. You are in one branch. That branch name is what? Master. You are in branch called master. No commit yet. Nothing to commit because we don't have any files to commit. No repositories, nothing. So don't worry about what is it that commit and everything. Okay. So even we don't have any files also in this. So I'm showing this notes and I'm following this. So check the status. I checked it. Now next is create one file in that folder. Create one file in that folder. For example, test.php. So to create a file, or you can create in Windows itself. So I'm going to create it. How can you create it? Right click. How can you create a file in this folder? Right click. View. Text. Or open a notepad. Type something. Save it in this folder. Your wish. Here I am doing it. Right clicking on this folder. New text document. So I'll type it. It's something here. September test. So it's a text document. This text document, and we don't have any content in this. I'll open this. I'll typing something here. Version. I'll call it's stop. Save this and close it. Doesn't matter. So as I said, we need to create a one folder, and in that one file we have to create it. We created it and we initialize this folder. Git installation is done in this folder. Now open the file and notepad, write some text. Type it. So this is done. Now you do it again status. So we did that status earlier. We did this status first time. It was giving the error message. Then after installation, if I checked it, it was showing that on branch master, no comments or something. Now I check this after creating a file, git status. In a series, it is written change. See on branch master and no commit set here also, no commit set here also. But here, untracked file. You created one file, but it's not tracked by Git. See, if you want to track the files, we need to tell that Git track my file. Okay, which file you want to track it? You have to tell because there will be so many files visited. Then how can tell you Git to track this file? So it is an untracked file. It is a red color. It is a file September test.php. So use git space add, git space add and file name. Okay, we have to do this. Or we can use it in different way also. For example, so it says that then checks no commit set untracked file. It means it is not gone to the staging area. So our file is here. Our file is in our folder. Because in future, if you want to track and everything, if you want to share it and everything, it has to go to the staging area. The file has to go to the staging area. How can you go? By using something called git add. We have to give a command git add. So we have seen one command called git installation. We have seen one more command called git status, and then we are going to see that git add. Why we should add it? What should we add it? Git add file name. Some file name you have to give it. Or you can give that dot also. Dot means all the files in that directory will be moved to the staging area. Why we move to the staging area? Why not directly repository? Right? A simple example I'll tell you. When you are at home, if you want to reach to a certain destination, you have to catch the bus. We'll take the example of the bus. Okay. So when that bus will come to your house, no, right? You have to move to the one stage, bus stage, railway station, whatever it is. So you have to wait it there for a bus. Bus will come to this place, not to your house, right? And you have to catch the bus and you have to go to the destination. You have to go to the destination. Our destination here is repository. So this is our directory, working directory. So if you want to reach to this destination, you have to move to the staging area. To move to the staging area, we have to use git add, and from there, from the staging area, we have to move it to the repository. For that, we have to give something called git commit. Right? So now we are here. Let us go for this git add. So what it says that next add to the staging area. How we can do that? Git add your file name, or you can use git add dot. In this case, there is a dot. Dot indicates all the files in that folder. If you want to move to the staging area only one file, if you want to move only one file, we can use it like this. If you want to move all the files, we can use the dot. Let's use this method. It says git add dot. Though we have only one file. So say git series, there is red color, git add dot. Let me add it here. Next command is git add like this dot, or we can say file name on. Now it is done. Now check the status once again. Git status. No commit yet, but it is changed to green color. So it is there in the staging area. To unstage means to move out of the stage. To move out of the stage, what we have to do? We have to use commit. So we have to use commit. Now it's in the staging area. We can track the files now. We can track the files. Whatever changes you make, we can track. Now change the file content and check the status. Okay, for example, so that's what I'm saying here. When I say git add dot means all the files. If you have 2 files or 13 files or 15 files, will be added. If you want to add only one file, git add file name extension, you have to give it only one file. But when you mention dot means git add dot means you are moving all the files to the staging area. Now what it says that now it is in the staging area. Now we can track it. Now change the file content now and change the file content. Where is my file? This is my file. I'll open it, right? And do some changes. What changes should I do? Version control system dot. Okay, this one added. I changed this file, save it, close it. Now you do the status again. Git status. Git status, if you can see, changes to be committed here. It is changes not staged for commit. If I this file, that means it is still is there in your folder. It is not, again we have to move to the staging area. How to move to the staging area? We have to use this to use to move it to staging area. Is it right? So, but we did some changes for our file. Again, we have to do this again. So once again, git add dot. Again, it is done. Now check the status again. As status, we'll check it number of times. So no file, new file is. So commit, the modified, but again it's updated. Is it right? So this is how we can do this staging area. Now one more final step is about moving it to the repository. It is a local repository. It's not a global repository. Global repository means it is a cloud system. It is. I'm going to use it for the local repository. So how can I do that? Now, change the file content and check the status. It shows modified in a red color, but not added to the staging area. You need to add every time you change it. You need to add it to the staging area every time you change it. So then check the status again, it will be added to the staging area with a green color. Okay? Yes, local means it is the system only. Because this file cannot be accessed by other people, right? So assume that your friend is somewhere in some other city, some other country, they want to access it. How can you access it? It has to move to the cloud. It has to move to the server so that it can take access. That's called a global repository. It is a local repository. So now we need to commit with this, we can create a local repository. So now it is there, low stage. Now we need to commit with this, we can create a local repository. Let us create a local repository. So how can we do that? We have to use something called git and command like this. So next command is to create local repository. Okay. So I can give git commit and -m and you write whatever statement you want so that you can identify that file changes. In fact, I'm using the same thing here. Now it is there in the staging area. We are here now, staging area, we have to commit it. So I'm going to write it commit. Git space commit -m and first commit is my first commit. Just press enter. So one file change, one insertion here and created this. And it is generated one ID here. There is a one ID has been generated. Now if I check the git status, so on branch master, nothing to commit, working tree is very clean. See, when I tap the git status at different stages, different message I'm getting it. Because now we created this one, we move it to the staging area, then we move it to the repository. That's a local repository has been created.
When I move it to the repository, here look what has been. Local repository has been created. And finally, if you want to share all these files, we require a global repository. Global repository means there's a cloud. That is possible with help of something called GitHub type account. You should have a GitHub account for this. You should have a GitHub account for the global repository so that they can access it. It is there in a local in your system. If you want to share all these files, then you require account of this GitHub account, which you can create it very easily.
Git commands. Is there anybody? Can you hear me first of all?
This sir.
Right. So last class we discussed so many commands here. And I created one small folder also somewhere. What is batch? Yeah, September Git on Git it is. And there was a one file also I created it. I was working on this file. And we were discussing about version control system. It is right. So is there any queries related to this one? How many of you tried it? Are you able to create a local repository? I'll share it to the drive link at the end. Once again. So I think nobody tried it. Is that right? If anybody tried, definitely there will be some questions or say yes or no, we got it or something. So many people will say we got it, but that is not the correct answer sometimes. The software tools that help you to manage the files. Basically, to manage your files, we require something called Git. So I've shown that how to download that Git also. We have a official website. Okay. and we will be having a picture like this. I have shown this picture although I was talking about that. Okay, so this picture, so I have shown that how to download that Git auto. We have a official website. Okay, and we will be having a picture like this. I have shown this picture although I was talking about that. Okay, so this picture, I just take it to the paint again. So it's not yet finished the total part. In fact, we created local repository and then we need to do some more things here. And in fact, we are familiar with again commands. What are they? One is git status, right? And we initialize it first. You need to initialize it. For example, if you are talking about a project means there's a folder. That folder has to be initialized. Once you initialize, what happens? This git hidden file will be created. It is a hidden file. Okay. So for example, it is hidden file. It is not showing it. Because in my view, here it is hidden items also it is showing it. When this git will be created, or it will be created when you initialize it. Because installation is important. Once you install it, we need to initialize it. And to check the status, we need to use the git status. But question comes here, where to type all this? Can anybody tell me where to type all these queries? Where should I type? TM. So we need to go to the command prompt, right? The first thing is I want to go to the command prompt here. But if I go to the command prompt here, am I going to my folder? If I type it here, am I going to my folder, which is a project folder? In the name part, how we can go to my folder? Is there a method?
cd dot spirit. Otherwise, we can type cmd over there.
Yes, cd dot will be, and then the process for me. There is an easy method I shown that. That is, you need to come to that project folder. So if you can see the address bar here it is, right? We need to select this entire part, then type cmd. We need to type cmd here. Automatically, command prompt will be opened along with this folder. That is the easiest method. It is not only for the Git. In future, when you are learning React and everything, I'll be doing this technique. So I want to open a command prompt. At the same time, I want to open this folder with this drive. So I can do this. I can click on this and cmd. I repeat once again, this is important. If you want to open a command prompt with the current folder, which is, you can see here, like cmd, can type it. That's it. Your command prompt will be opened like this. Right? So here I can execute my queries. And first of all, I want to type git status. I want to check it. It's on branch master. What is my branch name? It is a master. Okay, it is in confusion. On branch master, it is our branch is master branch. Our branch name is master. By default, you will get a master branch. Okay, so that will be created, and there is nothing to commit. Means what we did here, it is whatever we did here till now, that is working directory, staging area, and repository. Everything is finished. Okay, so we added this git add, that is will go to the staging area. Git add dot, we have to use it, and afterwards we have to use git commit. It will become a local repository. So all these stages are finished. That's why it is saying that it is everything is clean. Nothing to commit, working tree is clean. Okay, but we need to continue from that place now. Okay, so we can use some other part here. It is almost all these queries commands are there. It is already saved it in the drive, but at the end again I give the link. Okay, so these steps, each and every step it is. Okay, did anybody face any problem? I said that at the end of the session, I said that you will face some problem for the user ID and something like that. Because in my system, it is not asking the username and user mail, because I registered everything. So if you face that one, then you have to set your username by using git space config space dash global space user dot name, user email it is. All right. Let us go for this next. Now, we know that one branch is there. Sometimes we require multiple branches. And our branch name is master branch. Our branch name is, by default, it is a master branch. Okay. So here till here it is. commit we have seen this. So it is showing that on branch master nothing to commit, work area is clean. Now let us see that how to create a branches it is. Okay. So how to create a branch? This is how the branch can be created. Why branches are required certain times? We need a lot of data has to be shared at different places or at different teams. So that's why we need to create a branches it is. Okay. So tip branch, creating a branch. Okay, how can we do that? A query for this, a command for this one is git branch and your branch name it is. So the branch name, so branch will be created here it is. So there's a one question here it is. What is a branch? Let me give the definition. As I said clearly that when you have project requires lot of folders, lot of structures, lot of designs, lot of partitions, right? So then you require branches also. Like folders, we will be having a branches. Like you will be doing one project here, you will be doing one application at one place, and you will be creating one more application. Then you require different branches. Okay, so it is. What is a Git branch? Let me see. A branch in Git is simply a lightweight removable pointer to one of those commits. Its default branch name is master. As you start making commits, you are given a master branch and it is clearly. So it is going to create anything it is. Yes. Now this is the best one. It is showing that. I just give it this. Say in Git branch is a new separate version of the main repository. Let's say you have a large project. I was talking about when you have a large project. Okay. So when you have a large project and you need to update the design on it, how will you work it out? So see this, make copies of all relevant files to avoid impact the live version. Because if you don't want to disturb the live one, we need to make it lot of copies. Without Git it is. Start working with the design and find the code, depend on the code like this. Make copies. Emergency, there are unrelated errors somewhere. Save all your files, make a note of them. Work on unrelated, go back to design, copy. This basically it is multiple copies it is. You are making it multiple copies, right? But if you don't want to make it multiple copies, okay, especially when you are making large project. So what it will do is with a new branch called a new design, edit the code directly without impacting the main branch. It is not about what is branch, it is basically why the branch is required. Because if you want to, you created one file here it is, right? So what is the file you created it? You in this project, you created one file, separate September test, right? And if I open this file and this is my original file, okay? So if I modify it here, what happens? Your original file will be gone. Is it right? Your original file will be gone. In future, we may require that. We may not know while working the project what happened. So but we want to make a copy. For this, what will you do? You'll make a save it as one more copy it is, right? Again, you do some changes, again one more copy, one more copy, one more copy. This is what I was talking about at the beginning. You'll make it a lot of copies. Instead of making copies, you'll create a branch. Branch is required for that. Instead of making a lot of copies, it is better to create a branch. You place that changes to that branch. Is it clear? That's why the branches are required. Branches are useful to avoid the number of copies it is. Okay. Is it clear? So then how can we create a branch? So the branch can be created like this. CIT branch it is. So I'm going to do that. So paste it, and I want to give it some branch name. So what should I give it here? Here. React is there, JS is there, everything is there. I'll say SPA, single page application. React JS is our single page application. SPA means non.sauce. SPA here it is. SPA, that's called single page application. Okay, just a name I'm giving it, my branch name. Okay. Now tell me, where is my file? It is this file. where it is available. Is it available in the master branch or is it available in this SPA branch? Just now we created SPA branch, right? We created one SPA branch, right? So my question is, I have a one notepad file, that is the agenda, that is my project, right? Where the project is available. Is it available in the master branch or is it available in the SPA branch? It is there in the master branch, that's right. Okay. Now, what I want to do here it is, first of all, I want to enter into this branch. It is, first one, we'll go there and we'll check it what exactly is there. So how can we go there? So git check out. So go to the branch. We'll go to the branch to move to other branch. Okay. We need to give query. This is command we have to give it. Then we do this now. So first of all, we'll do this. Then afterwards, we'll see that files here. So SPA. Done. Now switch it to branch called SPA. Now if I say git status, what it is showing? You are in branch called SPA. Nothing to commit because we don't have any files in this. In this branch, nothing is there. We don't have any project. Okay. Now, what I'll do is, I'll do some changes in this branch. I'll open my file. Which file? This file I'll open. I'm in this branch called SPA. I'll open this file. That is my agenda. That's my project. Okay. And I'm going to add like this. So some changes I did here. I changes. Now save this. Close it. That's it. Right. Now when I checked this earlier git status, it was showing that nothing to commit because there is no file at all associated with the branch. Now if I type it here, you see the difference here before modification of that file and after modification of this file. That means whatever changes you did it here, where it is did here, where you have that changes, is it available in the master branch or SPA branch? The changes are occurring in SPA branch. Means master branch is not affected. That means you have a copy, one more. But do you have multiple files here? Do you have multiple files? No, right? So what is the purpose here for creating the branches? It is basically to avoid the multiple files, because assume that this is one important file. You want to do some test, you want to do some editing work, you want to do some other extra code. Okay. So that's why what you do is you make one more copy. Okay. Instead of making a copy, I'm just keeping it as it is. But only thing is I'm changing the branch. I changed the branch and I opened that project again. I modified that and I did this. So means it is updation is done in this SPA branch. Now if I next is it has to be done here. You need to move to the staging area. Then we have to commit it here. We will do those all these things. Okay. So we modified it. Definitely we have to add it. And you know that command. What is that command here? Git. Okay. Add and dot. Dot means what? All the files. Yes. So now it is moved to the staging area. Now we can check this. How can you check that? Git status. Right. It is done, modified. But is it committed? So now we moved from here to here. And then we'll move it again. We'll make a repository again. We want to make it a repository. How can we make it a repository here? Git to commit, right? What was that command? This one. To create a local repository, git commit, and I'll say here. So I'll write here second commit or second changes, whatever you want, you can write it, doesn't matter. And I press enter. Everything is done. And where it is done? It is done everything in another branch called SPA branch. You can create any branches here, right? So it is done in a SPA branch. But now you open this file now. Again you open this file. Is that changes are there or not? It is there. What are the changes I did here? I added this line. I added this line. If I add again something here, okay, so VCS, if I add this, what happens? I close this. If I check the status, Again, it says that see, I've done some changes. It has to be again moved to the staging area. Pick. Okay, add dot. Yes. Now I can say next one is git commit and third commit. Third commit it. I did this and this. Now everything is done. If I check this git status, so nothing to commit because we committed here. And if we can open this file also, the changes will be there. The changes are there. VCS we added here, right, and close it. Now you can see the magic here. One magic is right now everything we are doing it in SPA branch. Now I'll go back to our master branch. To go to the master branch, what we have to do? We have to check out. We have to check out, right? How can I do that? Git check out master. Right, we switch it to the master branch. Done. We are in a master branch. Git status. See, you are in a master branch. Nothing to commit here also. We are in a master branch. So now, if I open this file, you see the magic here. Can you see this? Our original version was like this. Our original file was like this, means without any underscore here, VCS we written. But where is that gone? We updated this file, right? I added line here. So I added some lines here, right? So I added some lines here earlier. It is not there, and I typed even VCS also. But all the things I did it what? One branch called SPA branch. Everything I did it in a SPA branch. So the changes are available only in this page. Means you have a one more copy. Right? Without affecting the original file. This is the where the version control comes into the picture. Git comes into the picture. It is. Okay. You have original copy. Right? I'll close this. Now if I again go here. If I go to the git checkout and my branch name SPA. Right? Switch to the SPA branch. Now open this file. Perfect. You have that lines and VCS. But if you see this folder, do you have any multiple files? Actually, this concept normally appears with the multiple files. For example, 1 file, 2 file, 3 file. But are we doing that multiple copies? Everything you can understand here itself. Why this Git is important? Is there any questions here? It is. See, listen it first of all. Don't try it while explaining it, okay? Hey, you people are in a hurry, right? First of all, understand the concept, okay? And you say that error means you are typing something, you are not listening it. You are not listening my class. You are missing something. Okay? Do that work afterwards. Okay? I am giving the notes all right. So here, why I was talking. So, I am not making multiple copies. Is it right or wrong? If you can see, is having like this. I have a line and this one. Same file it is. September test. But if I change the master, if I change this, git checkout, master batch I'm going. And if I open the same file it is, we are having multiple copies. So, this is the beauty of this Git. It is the main purpose of Git repository is this one. Is it clear? So why that branch is required? Because instead of making multiple copies. See here we are talking about only one copy or 2 copies. But in reality, when you are working on a large projects, you require a lot of changes and changes and changes and changes. Lot of files and files and files and duplications. To avoid that, we need this Git or JIT. Is it clear? So with this, you can easily understand that why the branches are required. Okay. So if any changes are required, what I'm doing is I'm creating a branch and I'm doing that. Create one state, everything is fine. Which is finalized, everything is finalized. You can merge it also. How can you merge it? You can merge it like this. For example, this now changes on one file. You do that commit and everything here. Merging the branches. How can you do that? go to the main branch, that's the master branch. Git merge your this one. And we merge, now we'll do that. Okay, because once you merge it, what happens? Whatever is there in the XYZ, it will show you, right? So now see this. Are we in where we are? Take it. Yeah, we are in the master branch now. So I'm going to type it here. My branch name is SPA. I want to merge SPA branch with this master branch. Just updated. Now we check this file. Then this will be available here. It is C. Line is there, VCS there. Is it clear? So there is no branch called SPA now. If I say, what was that? Git check out and SPA. Is it right? We check to the branch SPA, but in that SPA, if I check it status, nothing is there. There's nothing to commit. We don't have any files in that. Okay, so that files are merged. No branch is there, but that files are merged here. Done. So that is about the majority of this Git it is. Now it's a time to go to the final stage. This is local repository. That is, everything is there in your computer. But others should see these files, right? Okay. You want to share it. Then how can you do this? You should have something called, GitHub account. So I ask this question, how many of you are having a GitHub account? If you don't have an account after the class, you create an account with this GitHub. That is very easy. You all know that how to create accounts, right? When you can create Instagram account, when you can create Facebook account, okay? Snapchat account, definitely can create GitHub accounts also very easily, right? You know that very well. So GitHub account, once you have a GitHub account, that will become, you can transfer the files which you have locally as a local repositories to the server cloud. So, and we have one more query called Git remote. It will show nothing because nothing is relevant. This one, I type Git remote. Do you get anything? Nothing we are getting it because it is not connected. Our local repository is not connected with the global repository. So what I do now, I need to connect it here. So what you required? GitHub. It is not only GitHub, we have so many other things also. The difference between the Git and GitHub is one more question also will get it. Basically, Git and GitHub basically for use for the repositories. Git is using Git. Basically, Git maintains the commands. Okay, the same commands we are going to use in GitHub. This is basically cloud-based. GitHub is a cloud-based. Your repositories, you are placing it cloud. That means remote-based. Okay, otherwise your files will be placed, your projects will be placed, your repositories will be placed locally. When you have GitHub account, then you can make it remote, right? So I already have account and I'll type it here. You can see this. Once I entered my user ID and password, I came here. I have so many repositories because in every class I'm explaining it. Okay. Now I want to create one more repository. Now you may say that already created local repository. Yes, we created it, but we want a global repository, remote repository. So then for what should I do? Once you have some accounts, your screen may look like this. And if you are a fresher, first time when you are visiting, maybe somewhere you will get it like this new repository. You may get this button, you may get here, or you may get somewhere here. Is it available? New repository. So initially you will get it. What is this? Here it is. Yeah, new repository. Can you see this? From here also you can take a new repository. Is it right? So I'm going to create a new repository. Global or remote repository we required. So I'm going to this new repository. Why? Because we have a local repository. This should be accessed by many other people or team members or many other people. You can use it. So when I say new repository, it is going to say my owner, that's my ID, and repository name. Okay. So what repository name you want to give it? You can give it here. Get that A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, anything you can give it. And description about this repository, which is optionally. Okay. and you can use anyone on the internet can see this repository. You choose who can commit, and private means you're not allowing other people, only you can give the link to them. You choose who can see committed to this repository. So if you want to add readme file, you can add it and check on this. And so templates and everything, you don't require this. License is not required, and just you can create a repository. So first we need to create a repository. So what should I create here? So shall I create React? Is it available? React is available. Okay. Now repository React is already I created it. So underscore, can I use it? September. Yes. So React underscore September. It is available. I can take that repository. Description. So what I can say, Git examples, right? And whether you want to make it public or private. Right now I'm making it private. Okay. And I don't want any readme file. So just create repository here. You are creating a private repository here. Just click on this. And it will give some commands also, what should be done next. So don't worry about that one, because what to do next. So in fact, my presentation is going to help you. Okay, create an account. Okay, and once you create a repository, okay, you will get some address like this. Git remote add like this. Or short name also you will get it. Git remote add origin. That means, so for this one, you can give some other name, alias name you can give it. Okay, so this is how we can do that. And to test remote, type git remote. It should show this name, whatever name you have given here, that name it should show here when you type it. Then now it's a time to push. That is, we have a local repository. We want to push it. How can you push it? What you want to push it, from which branch you want to push it, that's what is important. From master branch, whatever content is there, I want to push it to this origin. What is origin here? We have this address, right? This is a lengthy address is there, right? Instead of this lengthy address, we can make it some name here. We are going to make this one. So I'm going to put this one. Okay, now it's online. So we are going to use this query also, right? So first of all, it is going to help you also. See this? To create a new repository, you can use it. Git init. You can readme file. Commit, you can use it. Git branch, you can do that. Git remote add origin, everything is there. Okay, but right now we don't want all these things, right? Two boxes are there, first box and second box. Because already we did this one. What we want to do is we want to push existing repository. We have an existing local repository that I want to push it to the remote place. This one, so I'll copy this entire code it is, and I'll paste it here. So git remote may give some error messages, right? But here I've given the description. Now git remote add, I'm giving the alias name, and my address is this one. See, React underscore September. This, see, writing this much lengthy name is very difficult, right? Okay. In fact, instead of this one, you can write this one totally. Okay. But here onwards, once you type this one, this command, if you write it, what happens? My entire address, this address will become like this. You can give it XYZ. Not compulsory origin, you can give it XYZ. Okay. So what the best method is this one? Okay. And you can move to the branch. You can go to the more branch here. My branch name is what? Master branch. So check that, okay? Master branch. First we'll do this. So this is not required. We require these two queries. Now take this and go to the command prompt. So right now if I say git remote, it's not showing anything. But after this query, after this command, git remote add, which one you want to add? This address you want to add it. You want to give the alias name called origin. It is right. Now if I type it, git remote, it is showing the origin. It is, instead of showing this address, it is showing this. Means my remote address is this one over here. It is there. Now I have to push it, whatever it is that the local, the files and everything. See, right now we have this file. This one I want to push it. September test is that to the remote one. How can I do that? I can say git push -u. This is one and master branch. So let me do this. So it will take some time. So done. We are on. Just go to GitHub here. Okay. And click on this. This is our local global repository for today. Now if I can click on this, it is here September test.txt file. It was there in our local computers, and we mentioned a third commit it is there. Okay, which was created 16 minutes ago, and 3 commits we did this in that. Okay, it is showing the second commit. In second commit, what changes are there? Let me check it. So in second commit, we written something here. Where was that file? This is the file it is. Okay, something changes we did here, and it is showing it's clearly whatever changes you did that. So our file is there here. The final third commit is, if you can see, it is there like this. The content version control ... and like this, like this. So now my file is a remote access. I can give it access to anybody. Okay, I can give a link to anybody here. Is where there is some code and everything. You have address this copy. You can copy this one and you can give it to anybody. Or you can download it. You can give this link. Is it clear? So why all these things are required? Why we are teaching this one? When we are teaching the React this, why this is Git is coming in between? Because in future, you'll be creating so many files, right? You want to place it in Git so they interviewers may ask you what you have done. So you say that I have done this and this. In resumes, you'll mention that, but no, they are not satisfied with that. They say that, so do you have a GitHub account? Can you share that, your account? Or any repository, can you share it so that I will check it? So that then it comes into the picture. Is it clear? So this is how our Git and GitHub can work here. Okay. In fact, this document I shared it. Once again, this is already shared it, but I'm going to give a link of this drive once again and do missed in the last class. And this is one important for any company you are going to work. They should know, like you should have an email ID, right? Can you get a job without email ID? Simply, if you say, no, I don't have email ID, then they can print different way. Is it right? So our email says, I don't have any resume, definitely they will allow you. And similar way, if we say you don't know anything about Git or GitHub, they will be definitely treating in different way. Is it clear? So learning only the subjects and softwares are not important. This version control system also is required, because we have seen that, when you are working on a project, so the person should aware of that one. Whenever they do some changes, they will, instead of making multiple copies,